here with Nancy and I'm going to share my screen. We're going to talk about the progress that the SPX trade made today. So in this account, both of them I put on in the morning, stayed on, nothing popped out. And I'm up so far $850. There's another $400 worth of of lemon juice to wring out of this lemon between now and the end of the day. And it looks like it's good. So it's so far at 875. So if you would have traded one contract on each side, that'd be basically, you'd have $87 profit so far. Now in this other account that I put some more puts on late, those got stopped out and I put them on again. But if I look at this account, I'm still profitable for the day, even though I got stopped out on one. And in this account, even though I got stopped out on the 5 contracts late, I'm still profitable. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of cool. So I wanted to chat with you briefly about a strangle. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I do is I set up a most highly liquid ETFs. Mm-hmm. Did I send you that or not?
No.
Not yet. Okay, what I'll do, it's easy for me to post it into a direct message in our Slack chat.
Yes.
If that's okay. I'll do a screenshot of this. So these are liquid ETFs that I've set up. And then also I've set up a second one called Sosnoff's Favorites, which is just the founder of Tasty Trade. I don't know if you recognize that name, Tom Sosnoff, but he set up the ones that he trades most frequently that are the most liquid. So one of the things you can do is you can scan for IV percentile and you can scan for implied volatility. And if that is not in your scanning, you can do the setup over here and click on customize. And you can bring that IV percentile and implied volatility over into your current set. Okay. So you can click on this and it shows them from high to low. And this is in Sosnoff's setup. So let me go back to the most liquid ETFs. And as I look through it today, there's a few possibilities. Do you know the difference between IV percentile and IV?
No.
Okay, IV percent. Do you know what implied volatility is?
I think that's like the crush or something, like where it something. It's like the demand or something.
You've heard of IV crush, is what you're referring to. Essentially, it's the perception of fear inside that underlying.
Okay.
So as I described in the last video, when the perception of fear is high, option prices are elevated. So as an option seller, we love that opportunity to sell when it's high, and then when IV goes down, to buy it back at a profit. So as I scan through these, there's a couple of them that looked interesting. So IV percentile essentially compares IV to itself, and IV overall compares it to all the other underlyings. So I'm looking at GDXJ, which is an oil miner. I mean, it's a gold miner, mining companies, and its IV percentile's 23. Its IV is 56. So that's one of the highest IV. So that might be something that would alert me to a possible strangle.
But so I thought the one on top would be high. Okay, that's just futures, right?
These are all futures.
Futures, okay.
And what I'm looking at is kind of a combination between, now IV percentile has been skewed because during COVID around January through March, fear was just out of this world. I mean, if you look at the VIX, for example, I mean, you see, let's look at it at a 1-year chart. See how VIX was like way up here at 83? Oh my God, the sky is falling. You know, everything is changing. The world is ending. It's the end of the world, as we, you know, that was about in March. So many underlyings had very high IV right now. So when you compare it to itself, it's going to be artificially low. Because now, you know, we've kind of learned to live with this crisis that we're in, and elevation of fear is not nearly what it was back in March. So IV percentile is going to be kind of artificially elevated. Having said that, I still look at kind of a combination of these two before I kind of pick something that's relatively high. So I think GDXJ, mainly because if you've been watching gold shot to the moon, and, you know, it's since kind of gone down a little bit. So if you look at like /GC, which is the gold futures, you know, you can just see how it shot up to past 2000, and it's currently kind of taken a little dip. So anything related to gold probably has some elevated elevation on the fear index. So for that reason, let's kind of look at kind of a strangle and how far out we would do a strangle here. So if I click on trade and I go to GDXJ, one of the, you know, Tasty Trade likes to trade, and so do I, is the closest to about monthly 45 days to expiration. So I'm going to go, September's 30 days to expiration. So that's the closest monthly. The reason I do monthlies over weeklies is there's more liquidity.
Okay.
And liquidity is defined as how close the bid and the ask are to each other. If it's way far apart, it's horrible liquidity. You know, something like Apple is 2 or 3 cents. This is like 6 cents. So it's not bad. It's not great, but it's also not bad. Now over here is the column called delta, and I know it says 0.10, but that's kind of what's classified as 10 delta. The higher the delta, the more you're going to get paid for those options. The lower the delta is a higher probability of profit, right? So like, for example, my favorite is around, probably around the 15 delta, 15 to 20. Around earnings, I tend to trade, you know, closer to 10. So let's just kind of see what this looks like. If I pick the 9 delta here, and
you do a sell?
I'm selling the 47 put in this case, and then I'll go over here to the call side and look at kind of, gosh, there's no 9 delta here. So let's just take it to let's go to 14. Let's see what the 14 delta looks like. So here's a 13 delta. So I'll click on sell at the 49, and then the 14 delta on here is the 70. So I'll click on sell here. So both sides of that are like $1.35.
So both are sells.
Both of them are sells. What you're doing is you're selling a put and you're selling a call out of the money. And that's defined as a strangle. If you're selling a put and a call at the money, that's defined as a straddle.
Oh, okay.
Now, if I do, let me just show you kind of what, do you ever use the Analyze tab in TOS?
Oh, no.
Okay. This is one of my favorite things, the Analyze tab. And when you said, oh, no, what does that mean?
I haven't.
Oh, you just haven't used it. I thought maybe you felt like it was overwhelming or something. Oh,
yes,
no, I would never do that.
I mean, I have never, like, I like to learn it.
Okay. Well, what this does, if you notice what I just did, I clicked on Analyze. And you need to make sure if you have other trades on that you've just checked this new trade. Okay. So I've checked this new trade, and see these little dotted line things? I can place those on the red marks, and the red marks are at expiration where my break even is. So anything to the left of that, I would be losing money. And anything to the right of this one here, I would be losing money. So I make money as long as the price at expiration closes between the price of $47.65 or $71.43. And GDXJ is an ETF, and it's currently trading at $58.36. So up here you see the probability. So there's a 77% probability that it's between those two hash marks at expiration. So that is a strangle. So if I was to right click on that and confirm and send, I could collect $670. It would take me almost $3,000 worth of buying power. So that's an example of a strangle. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring over trade diff and kind of show you how to use the paper trader and have you actually put on some strangles.
No.
In your paper trading account.
No, not yet.
Not yet?
No. So where is my, I thought I had trade diff already opened.
Okay.
I guess not. Oh yeah, it's right here.
Is it okay if I'll show you kind of how to put on a trade?
Sure.
And would you want to share your screen and put one on?
Sure.
Okay, so if I click on, this is my paper trading account that I've set up. So if I click on trade, and then I put the underlying in here at the top, GDXJ, click on get chain. And then I'm going into the September 18th monthlies. I'm scrolling down to essentially we did about the 14 delta. So here's a 13.2. I'll click, as you hover over something, it either says buy or sell. You want to sell these puts. And then I'll look over here at the delta here for the 14, and I click on sell. And then over here, you can scroll up the amount of contracts. If you wanted just to change one side's contracts, you click here. So for our contest, we are only allowing people to put $10,000 of buying power in any one underlying. So that's the reason you saw that violation come up. What we try to do is to instill certain rules in different contests to kind of teach people good trading.
So you have 7 there, but you had 5 there.
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
So I can, put on anywhere from, I put 5 on in my real account. I was going to paper trade this and just to show this to you.
Oh, okay.
So how to use the paper trader. So when I've, so it shows you what the theta is, approximately what the margin would be. We're even taking out trading cost in the simulator to make it as realistic as possible. And then you can click on submit. So now if I go into my account, it shows up here in new trades, and I've created certain categories: naked puts, straddles, strangles, naked calls, and poor man's covered calls and poor man covered puts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on these 3, just left click on these 3 dots, and I'm going to select straddles, strangles, and put it into that category.
Okay.
So later, what I'm able to do is I'll be able to graph the performance of this particular category. Let's see here on straddle strangles. So I could click on this button, and it would show me kind of a graph of my performance. So in the paper trader, I'm up a total of $2,563 since we started this a couple of weeks ago, trading strangles and straddles. If I wanted to see kind of how each underlying has done, I could click on this and it would show me kind of everything that's been traded within that and how it's done. I don't know why that's not showing up, but anyway, that demonstrates the paper trader, and I can stop sharing it now. Would you like to share your screen?
Sure.
Okay.
How do I do that? So,
click on share screen, and then it'll ask you which screen would you like to share. If you've got multiple windows open on your computer, you'll select the one where you see trade diff.
It says host disable participant screen sharing.
I always forget that that's a new security feature. So I've now enabled it. So sorry about that.
That's okay. Okay, you see my screen now.
I do.
Okay.
So click on simulation down there, not create simulation, but the little circle next to real. Right below that create simulation, you see that's a public one. Over there where it says Nancy on the far left, you see two, you see real, and you see simulation. So underneath that, you've only got one, so you can click on that Nancy simulation portfolio. And let me see that cog right next to the word trade. It's the settings. Go ahead and click on that and scroll down where it says new group next to create new group. Right, no, to the left of that, where in the blank next to the word at create new groups, see where it says in real light letters, it says new group in the white box next to create new group. And if you put the word strangles and then click on create new group. Okay, then scroll up and go to Nancy simulation portfolio right there and click on the word trade. And then put under symbol GDXJ. And then get chain. Then go into the September 18th monthlies, and then scroll down and look for about the, let's do the 14 delta. That would be at 49. So click on the cell there, and then scroll down on your calls and look for a 14 delta there. And click on, that's buy, so you want to sell these also. And then add the number of contracts to bump it up to say 5 contracts. And then click on submit. So now you've put on, and so now you can click on the 3 dots next to GDXJ and choose the word, let's see, I don't see strangles. All right, go back into, oh, we probably didn't click save. So go back into settings at the top again and scroll down and put the word strangles in there, and then click on create new group. Now click on the yellow box that says create new group. Now go to back into your scroll up.
But there isn't a place to save it.
Well, it already created the new group. So
Okay.
as soon, I think last time we forgot to click on create new group. So now click on and now choose strangles.
Okay.
So now it's placed those into strangles. So in the future, if we put other types of trades in here on your paper trader, you could categorize them.
Okay.
So congratulations, today, mission accomplished.
Yes.
You've placed your first strangle on,
Yes.
and we'll watch that periodically, and I'll link to you.
Okay.
Now, if you go back into your, see the word collaborate at the top? That's a place where you and I can communicate.
Okay.
So as we watch this every day, you can kind of see how it's doing.
Mm-hmm.
You can also click on the word snapshots at the top. See where it says collaborate and then videos
Oh,
and then
okay.
realized and then snapshots. You can click on that, and then you could, at any time, you can create a snapshot. So if you hover over there and click on view snapshot, it just did it, I believe. Or you could click on create. Let's see if that's in there. So it's 2:07 p.m. Yeah, so click on now view snapshot. See if you hover over next to it. That one is probably, it doesn't have the most recent trade. So you need to go up to August 19th at 2:11 and then click on view that snapshot. Okay, and now scroll down. Okay, see how this is a snapshot in time of this new strangle that you put on. So what you can do is you can take notes about this trade. Let's see, let me stop my screen share and show you from mine. So I'm going to share my screen and then go over and show you. So first, let me go to the contest, which will be my paper trader. And show you kind of how you can use snapshots. So you can create a snapshot right now. I can then click on view the snapshot. I can then come in and highlight a particular trade, maybe that I want to talk about. So it highlighted this Facebook trade, and I can go up here and add a note. Right? I could then submit it. So then I could store that hyperlink. I could then, I'm going to try to find what trade you just put on, right? So if I go into simulations, and because there's lots of people on here, I'll need to find yours that you just placed. Let's see if it's on here yet. Let's look for Nancy. And I don't see it yet. Did I miss it?
No, I don't see it either.
Okay. It may be that you, before it's all your stuff is stored, you would have to refresh yours before it uploads it all to TradeDiff. But
how do I do that?
Up here in the top left, next to the URL where it says reload this page, that might do it. Let's try that. If not, I'll need to find your. I don't see it yet. Well, essentially, if you put notes like in the snapshots, you could then go up into the collaborate and post that link to me, and I'd be able to find it. So I'll work on that, and I'll be able to find it, and then I'll post into your collaboration some things where we can kind of watch that trade together. So that's kind of our lesson today on strangles and zero DTE. So we've accomplished a lot today.
Can I ask a question on this? Okay, so let me share this. Do you still see my screen?
I don't. I think you stopped sharing and I was sharing mine.
Okay. Shares. So we did put 2 trades. So we lost on the call side, right?
On SPX?
Yes.
Well, we have not, the day's not over.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still probably some juice that's coming out of it. Do you want to show me the toss?
Yeah, you do you see it?
I'm seeing trade diff right now.
Really? Okay.
So if you want, you could shrink
Oh,
this
right,
screen
right. I see that now.
and then bring up toss. Still seeing the trade diff screen. So you could shrink this.
How about
there?
this?
There you go. Perfect.
Got it?
Yeah. All right. So if you go into if you click on activity and positions, and if you shrink the filled orders so that I can just kind of take a look at those.
Mm-hmm.
So your put side for P&L for the day, it looks like it's up $78 and your call side is up $47. So the total you've made is 107.50.
Oh, even though it didn't go down, I still made on the call side?
Well, what happens is you really hope that it stays within that range of 33.65 and 34.10. That's the way you make money on, this is essentially an iron condor.
Oh, okay.
So the strangle part, and an iron condor is a strangle with wings.
Mm-hmm.
The two short side is the strangle. In this case, it's 33.65 and 34.10.
Mm-hmm.
The wings is the 33.15 put and the 34.45 call.
Okay.
So we make money as long as SPX stays between 33.65 and 34.10. But it doesn't necessarily have to go there before it gets stopped out. It's currently trading at 33.87. So if you go back and click on monitor, you know, there's the trade price. So it still has about 40 cents of juice in the puts and 10 cents worth of juice in the calls. So
how can you tell that?
I'm looking under mark.
Okay.
See there, the puts have about 32 cents left in them, and the calls have about 8 cents left in them. So if I add those two together, it's 40 cents multiplied by 100. So there's about $40 left of juice in this lemon, and it's 2.18. So in the next 45 minutes, the rest of the $40 worth of juice will come out, barring some, you know, big event that either moves the market up or down. So essentially this trade, like all iron condors or all strangles, are neutral trades. So you can,
if I want, I can close this now?
You could, but it would cost you 38 cents. 27 cents to close the put and 10 cents to close the call. But I think I would not do that because you've only got 40 minutes left. You know, things are looking good. Just take the extra $40.
So
but
220. So 220 is 320 there. Okay. And they close at 4 o'clock, right?
And they close at 3 p.m.
Oh, 3 p.m.
Yeah. Market opens at 8:30 a.m. our time and closes at 3 p.m.
Yeah. Okay.
So good question though.
Yeah. Okay.
And any other questions?
No. So the buying power is for both is 5,200.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So if it's one, it's 2,500. If I just do one side.
Well, it depends upon how far apart. Actually, I think that's the buying power effect now. That wasn't the buying power effect when you put it on. I believe that the total buying power for putting all these legs on when you put it on is around $8,000.
Oh, okay.
The buying power effect is less now because there's less juice left in it and there's less time.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
that's a first lesson. You're so welcome. So you can stop sharing your screen now, and I'll stop your screen share. And I guess we're done for today. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll put on some other trades maybe later in the week into your paper trader, and we'll continue to watch those.
Okay. And I did send you through trade diff something.
Okay.
I don't know if you got it though.
I didn't. If you can ever, where did you post it?
In Collaborate.
In Collaborate. Now, there's this is a little confusing, but there's different spots of Collaborate. If you put it on Collaborate around a contest, let me show you what I'm talking about. I'll do my screen share again. So for example, if I go into a contest, right, and I go into spreads naked selling, and then I click on Collaborate, that goes to everybody that's in this contest primarily. If you go and you find me in particular, and you click on and you find Dale Perryman's or Dale somewhere and click on that as a trader, and you put it on Collaborate here, that's like a where you find one of my funds, like here's a new reality fund, and you put something here, Collaborate here, that would be like a private message to me around my account.
So I have to find you first.
So how do you find a person? You could go into, you can always click on my profile at the top right, which takes you to your homepage. And then if you wanted to view public real accounts, you could click here. If you wanted to click on simulation accounts, you could click here. And if you find any account, if you tell me where you put it, then I'll be able to.
I don't know where it went.
You don't know where trade diff went?
No, yeah, I don't know where it went. I mean, I don't know where I sent it. I see it when I go to Collaborate, but I don't know where it went from there.
Okay. I got you, but what were you viewing when you put it into Collaborate? Were you viewing your portfolio?
Yes.
Okay, that kind of defeats the purpose because right now I can't find your portfolio. So if you go into real accounts where it says public.
Where do I go to real? How do I do that?
Okay, if do you see at the top right where it says my profile?
No, it says portfolio.
I'm gonna let you share your screen again. Okay, in the top right, that little person at the very top right, it looks like a little head. If you click on that, it's like my profile, right? This is what I'm going to call your home page. So if you click on under public real, and then scroll down. Now, if you click on, click on that new reality fund. And if you click on Collaborate, and then go down there and scroll down and put something in the message.
Okay. And then just enter?
Yeah. Okay. Now I have found you there. Good. I see you. So if I said, you could, in Collaborate, you could see but let's see. Let me go into, so now you've kind of get an idea of
so I don't know where my first one went. So my first one is here. So this is the one I guess you can see my trade.
Yeah. So if you want to copy that, and then go into where you just were.
Then send it to you like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Now I see it. And so I can go on, collaborate, and I can say, perfect. Okay. So what I'll do is I will store this. So I'll be able to find you from now on. All right, I've got you stored.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So you're going to send me the bill for me to pay you?
Yeah, we'll just settle up at the end of August.
Okay.
If that's all right.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.